Real Producers. This is Kristin Brindley, and I'm here with the wonderful Fred Westerlund.
Thank you for having me, Kristin. It's a pleasure to be here. How focusing on serving others and staying accountable to your goals can help you remain successful and continue to grow. You know, Kristin, buying a home is a big investment, and for some people, it's the biggest investment they'll ever make. We provide a peace of mind associated with folks selling or buying real estate or refinancing their homes.
Hello, Nova Real Producers. This is Kristin Brindley, and I'm here with the wonderful Fred Westerlund. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We appreciate you. You know, he is our MBH, Fred, our spotlight, our partner spotlight in GenMax issue of September 2020. Definitely check it out. It's on page 20 itself. And, you know, Fred's been in the industry for, over 16 years. And he was also one of the region's most influential leaders in title insurance. We really appreciate you being with us today, Fred. And I also want to thank you for writing the column, the legal hotline column. Like we appreciate you, helping our realtors every month in that column. So thank you. Yeah.
Well, it's our pleasure, Kristin. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunities. We have so many wonderful attorneys who really know their stuff and want to help real estate agents. So it's our pleasure to write that every month. We enjoy it.
So for those that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about title insurance?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to. So, Kristin, buying a home is a big investment. And for some people, it's the biggest investment they'll ever make. Title insurance agencies such as MBH, we're the buyer's best protection against defects or potential risk to their rights as property owners. So what we try to do is we provide a peace of mind associated with folks selling or buying real estate or refinancing their homes. And we do this because we're able to leverage our expertise, our technology, and frankly, the can-do attitude of the team at MBH to provide the best experience possible. It can be a stressful time, but it's supposed to be a joyful time. And we try to make it as joyful as possible.
I can see you being a CEO from your background. Did you always think you'd be, in title and title insurance?
The short answer is no, but the longer answer is I probably should have. I've been involved in real estate forever, whether it's investment properties or flipping or do-it-yourself projects. As long as I can remember, I've been involved in real estate. And then I was in mortgage lending for a number of years as well. So I think title insurance was just a natural transition that I should have saw coming, but I didn't.
How often do people say they want to be firefighters, right? Like CEO of a big old company, but specifically which company, we don't think about that.
Yeah. Now that I'm in it, I'm really happy about it. I enjoy it.
So for you, Fred, what was the first thing you did when you came over to MBH? What did you do?
Yeah, well, so the first thing I did when I came over, now it's about 3.5 years ago, is I just started meeting all of our employees and as many clients as possible and just asking them questions. And listen, just want to find out from the people actually involved in it day to day, how's it going for them? What do they think we're doing well? What tools do they need to do better? How can I support them in my role? And so the beginning was really just about meeting as many of our clients and our employees as possible and listening and learning from them.
That's a pretty darn good approach. Problem solving from listening to the problem first. I think that, and what's going well and expounding on that.
Yeah.
So what came after that for you? Like what was next in that progression and,
Well, so you learn a lot that way, right? And you can look at reports and things like that all day long, and that helps too, but it's really talking to people that gives you the most intelligence. And so then I just went back and kind of distilled all the information and started making the changes that I could make and giving our tools the people to succeed and the tools they needed to make the customer experience even better.
Can you expound a little bit on a couple of those programs before we go on? Because I know I know a little bit from talking to you previously about that. And I think you've done a couple of really key things that are really helpful for data to keep helping people, Yeah,
well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we sure have. So one thing that we've done that really didn't come out of the discussions with our clients as a need, but really came about as some way to give back to the community in some way that would get our people fired up about being at MBH, was our company-wide charitable giving program. In the past, we really didn't have one. And so we put one in place, and it's really exciting because every single real estate closing and every refinance results in a donation to one of over a dozen local charities selected by our employees. So it's not directed from corporate or anything like that. These are local charities that our employees are fond of and passionate about. And so every single closing and refinance results in a donation. And it's exciting and it's fun, and it just makes you feel good to be part of MBH.
I love that. We love philanthropy here at Real Producers. There's a lot of great people in this community, and thank you. So what about some of the real dirt, the good stuff? Like, how do you guys get clients? Talk to us about that.
Well, we certainly advertise, that's for sure. We're on social media, very active. Please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We advertise in Nova Real Producers, which is an incredible publication put together by incredible people, full of incredible people, because the Real Producers are amazing people. But so we advertise in Nova Real Producers. We love that. And we also participate and support our local real estate associations, like the realtor associations such as NVAR and PWAR and DAR. Full of wonderful people doing great things for the community, and we like to help them with their business and help them with their community work as well. But despite all that, at the end of the day, the best thing is still word of mouth from our satisfied clients. So it's interesting, no matter how big we get, it's still at the end of the day, one transaction at a time. That's our best advertising.
I get that from you, like from the project with the surveys and the way that you guys treat your clients, word of mouth. I could see where that plays a huge part for MBH. So, Fred, you've achieved a certain level of success as a CEO that most, do not. So, tell our listeners, how might they know if title insurance is the right career path for them? Sure.
Well, I think just as you would in any area of life, pursue different interests with your career and experiment a little bit. When you land in a role or with a leading company like MBH, where you're fairly compensated, you enjoy yourself, and you're giving back to society in some way, then you're probably on the right path. And I can tell you, if you like to make people happy and solve problems, then title insurance is a great place to be. If you know anyone in the industry, give them a call, interview them. If you don't know anyone in the industry, or you'd rather not call someone you know and talk about it, please call someone at MBH or call me, and I'd be happy to chat about it.
That would be so. And how long has MBH been around? You guys are large too. Can you give us some volume information, and then how long it's been around?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we do well over 6,000 settlements every year. We're either number one or number two in the Washington Business Journal list of top title companies pretty much every year. And we've been around for over 26 years. So big company and getting bigger. So
are there any myths that you'd like to dispel in the title insurance industry? Like any myths or things that people might think?
Yes, I would like to dispel one myth about title insurance. And I hear this sometimes from folks in other professions that are related to ours. And the myth is that it's an easy way to make a living. This is what I hear. And I can tell you, Kristin, for sure, it's definitely a rewarding way to make a living. You feel good because generally you're making people happy, but it's not easy to resolve problems, identify problems and resolve problems in order to make sure that a very important transaction in someone's life goes really well. So it's not easy, but it's definitely fun and enjoyable, and I'd recommend it to anyone. If you like people and you like serving people, this is a great place to be.
Well, actually, I love this question. So for the future, like when you are looking at the next, 1 to 5 years, what does that look like for you all at MBH and for you? Yeah.
Well, I would say that in the next 5 years, we're going to double in size.
There's a statement right there. I love it, because you guys are large to begin with. So double. All right. I love it. So that's double right. In size.
That's right. I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
Throwing down the gauntlet. So do you have a couple initiatives in mind and some things that you guys are doing that you're excited about for that?
Yeah, we do. I can tell you, look, first of all, we have an incredible team of people. They're incredibly professional and caring, and what we've really seen this year is our people are incredibly resilient as well. That not only goes for our team, but our clients. It's been really impressive to watch. So we've got that going for us. And we happen to operate in a wonderful industry, real estate, in the most economically resilient area of the country, in my opinion, the DC metro area. We've invested heavily in technology in the last several years, so much so that when COVID hit, we didn't really have to skip a beat. Everything was already in place for what we didn't know or didn't see coming. So that's been wonderful. We have great clients. We have loyal clients. We have wonderful partners such as Nova Real Producers and Northern Virginia Association of Realtors and PWAR and DAR and so forth. And we've got really supportive ownership group that's investing in us, and we're investing back in our people. And you know, the future is bright.
I love it. Well, and you guys you've stayed a step ahead. So you were working on things that really made many of the virtual changes quite, you know, a lot easier during all this interesting time that we've dealt with, right? So do you have any tips for our real producers on how to stay a little bit ahead, like a couple steps ahead, like maybe in your daily routine or things that you do to stay ahead? Like, how do you achieve that on a high level as a, you know, as a CEO or someone who's, you know, running other people?
Sure. Yeah. I can certainly share what I do, and I hope it's helpful to someone. You know, basically, I begin the day with coffee and exercise and some quality time with man's best friend, our family dog, and I get into the office as soon as I can and break open the daily journal. Every day I record kind of my accomplishments from the day before and my plans for that day and the rest of the week. And on Mondays and Fridays, I look at the entire month's goals and the entire quarterly goals. So twice a week, I'm looking at monthly and quarterly level. And I read the news every morning, and sometimes in the car and throughout the day, really. So if I look at it that way, I'm probably checking on news 3 times a day, and just not just in our industry. I think that's one of the key things, Kristin, is to look at everything going on, not just your industry and what's going on there, because it will give you ideas and it will show you the way things are going. And so we had, for example, I had an e-closing platform in place at MBH 2 years before COVID. Now, we didn't need it. The industry didn't evolve as quickly as I thought it would, but it was already in place. And so when COVID hit, it was there. We had been trained on it and so forth and so on. So I think just kind of having a more global view of things, being interested in what's going on in a number of different areas, not just our area, and having a plan every day and checking on your plan and how you're doing against it. To me, I think those have been some of the keys to my success.
Well, that's beautiful. And accountability to the plan it tends to be like the number one drop off for people. So it sounds like you're very accountable to your plans, which is great. I mean, that's a nice amount of check-ins. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our real producer community? And we really appreciate you being one of our partner spotlights and all that you do with real producers. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. This is what I'd like to say to the real producer family. Thank you. You guys are terrific. Those of you who are clients have been tremendously loyal, and we love the relationship we have with you. And those of you who are not clients yet, we still enjoy the interactions and learning from you, and we hope you can learn something from us. And if we can ever help you with anything, we're happy to do so. Along those lines, Kristin, I can tell you in March and April, particularly, I actually got a lot of calls from smaller title companies, one title company that's a prime competitor of ours, and then some other real estate agents that don't use us. And they knew somehow that we had made these investments in technology and that we were large and we weren't experiencing any hiccups, and they were asking for advice. And, you know, I'm happy to help other people in our industry. So I just want to say thank you to the real producers community, and we're here for you.
Thank you, Fred. Well, you heard it here at Nova Real Producers, and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kristin.